So gooning is a thing. Okay, now I learnt about this today. There's a reason why I'm telling you this tale. There's a story to tell you, but also what I think can happen in the future of crypto around this particular subject. So we'll dive straight in. Um, this account on X.com, memers. Last night, someone created, or I think it was last night, early morning. Someone created a token around her essentially. Now she didn't set the token up, and she seems like a pretty reasonably nice woman, to be fair. She's sound, but what happened is this. So the chart that was made, and it started off I think around a 60K market cap, something like that, and it ended up bonding and then going on to like radium and things like that, and it wicked right up to like $1.6 million market cap. Now there's various reasons for that. A lot of it was that she went on a spaces, and the spaces that she went on had like 2,000 people join it. I saw this really early during the whole process, and I found it really interesting. I think it's a really good social experiment. But what it could also do is show you how the future of crypto can work for individual creators. Now, I'm not suggesting that Memers is an adult content creator by any stretch of the imagination, but there are adult content creators out there who could do exactly the same thing, and I'll explain why in a minute. So Memers put out a tweet saying tits at 5 million market cap. Now, that sent a lot of people into an absolute frenzy. So you had a lot of guys in there. Gooning is the term that's being used to get to that market cap, because obviously they wanted to see tits, which, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it is like, it's kind of weird, right? But it's how it works. And she then changed that to 3 million market cap. And there was a lot of interesting stories and discussions within their actual spaces that she was on. One of the issues was supply. So because she didn't have a large amount of supply at all, I think initially it was like 0.5% or something, like 0.05%. So she didn't have much. And as a result of that, it didn't take off, because obviously the price was going up due to the fact that they may see tits, or may see like little milestones along the way that would give you access to her that wouldn't be seen before. Now, that was interesting. If you look down actually on a X, it says here, why would I? Yeah, but why would I believe that when 1.5 million market cap, people couldn't even send me 1% of supply? So I think she essentially wanted 5% of the supply, and she would carry on. And she carried on. Obviously, the meme would get bigger and bigger, and people would profit. A lot of people did profit off it anyway, so it's not like the end of the world. But it does give you a snapshot into what could happen next. I thought it was really interesting. And then you go into like coins, so adult themed coins. I mean, you got Butthole Coin, that's doing pretty well at the minute on its max chart, but that's going to come back. It's like 764th in the entire crypto space. You've got Fart Coin, which is insane. That's at 15.1% up today. It's max chart, but I've looked at that. It's pretty much up only. It's a really interesting concept as well behind Fart Coin. I think there's a lot to be spoken about with that. Then you had like things like We Love Tits. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is I'll show you the reason I'm showing you these kind of things is because OnlyFans itself, or OF, and I don't think you can say the full word, is a $2 billion in revenue, but that's in 2021, and it's currently valued around 18 billion. So there's a lot of money within that kind of area, that area of content creation. Again, I'm not suggesting that Memers is in that cycle of content. Also, the social media network, basically the social media network and the whole of the thing, is worth like $122.6 billion. And by 2029, they think it's going to go up to $206 billion. There's a lot of money in this. People like their influencers, right? Then you've got the adult industry. Now, this is a weird range. So some people value it at 9 billion, others at 97 billion, but the conservative estimate is 15 billion, which is more than Netflix, Hollywood, and Viacom. So now, can crypto enter these spaces and actually make a lot of money? And I think they probably can. And there's a few ways that I think they can do that. But some of them are coins like this. So We Love Tits did really, really well. I know somebody made quite a bit of money off it. It's got merchandise, it's got memes, and it's like a sponsor of the CFN. There's things like that. The merchandise and things like that, they're all good like ways to garner a community. Community support's huge on these kind of things. It's not having a good day, and a lot of memes aren't, and its max chart looks horrendous. But these things can come back. But what is the next wave of these kind of things? So this is a coin that I really like. Like I speak to their team quite a lot, because what basically happened was they had a developer who basically sort of pumped and dumped the chart, so it went to a community takeover. Now these are a good community. The website does need to be updated and looked at, and maybe making it better. They've got their own song and stuff now as well, and you can see like it's not doing particularly well. It's had a bit of a pump the last sort of 15 minutes, but it's only a 338k market cap. And again, this is not sponsored. I just said that when I was speaking to them, I said I'm going to mention you in the video because it's about this kind of topic, right? They are working really hard behind the scenes. They've got a contest, and you know this isn't sponsored because this is another YouTuber, this one, right? So the contest is you get $20. It's a 3-day competition on Twitter and Telegram. You subscribe to this other YouTube channel. But if you do that, subscribe to me as well, right? Because this just seems a bit harsh. Like and retweet this post and things like that. Tag 2 friends, and you can win $20 to do with what you wish. This lady is immense. Like she's really behind a lot of this stuff. She's trying to do as much as she physically can. So go and follow her, Crypto Blonding. You know, she really is working really hard. They are bringing merch into the equation as well. So as a result of the merch itself, they're looking to try and do buyback and burns on the token, get listed on exchanges, things like that. It's really, really interesting. They've also got some X spaces coming soon and things like that. And I'll try and get on a couple of them because I think it's an interesting concept. But some of this stuff's really, really good. I like this. I think this is a decent concept. Again, it's just something that I found interesting. Then you've got this one, which I think was a complete pump and dump from the start, from what I can see. But again, you know, we love that. I don't think I can say it without getting like demonetized or something like that. So I'm not going to say it. But again, these are the sort of things that people are looking into around these topics. So today's not done too badly. Let's have a look at his max chart. Yeah, so his max chart's awful. So this is probably not going to do very well. But it is interesting to know what comes next and what you can do with these things. So we know here that one of the big problems with the memers coin, and again, this doesn't have to be adult either. This can just be people who have got large followings. Now, we've seen it before with like that Izzy Azalea and things like that, where things haven't gone so well. But that's probably because they're more supported by crypto bros, as in started by crypto bros and maybe not necessarily started by the creator themselves. So the supply was an issue. That was a problem. Milestones was a good thing. It did develop a lot of engagement. It did help a market cap go up. So the milestones can be, for instance, exclusive things on things that are not adult. But then on the ones that are adult, then it's going to be like revealing different body parts as long as the market cap goes up. It is an interesting concept, and it can be like really beneficial to not only the creator but also the fans of that particular creator or whatever. But it does bring engagement and new followers. So, for an example, this memers was on around about 2,200, I think, followers on X, and it's up now at nearly 5,000 followers, just as a result of what happened. So that's a big increase for what you can possibly do here. And this is like, if you're an OF creator and you've got a smaller following and you did something like this, your engagement goes up and it can make a massive difference into your bottom line. Then you've got things like wish lists and NFTs and stuff like that. But if they had control of the supply a little bit more, or had at least a vested interest, they could do their own ways of like opportunities to try and promote their coin by doing competitions, things like that. They could do a lot of different things, as well as the milestones and things like that. So we know there's a problem within the adult space for OF and things like that, because we know that people can have their payments blocked, things like that, customs, all that kind of stuff can be an issue. I've spoken about it many times on FanX videos. You can go back and check them out. There is, I still think there's a market for this kind of thing. But with crypto, they're more in control of their earnings. And with a lot more women coming into the Web3 space, this could be a way of them garnering their own finances without having to, you know, do it where you can get it taken away from you through banks and legacy payment systems and things like that. So greed issues was a problem, or will be a problem, because a lot of these tokens that have flung up and done absolutely nothing. For instance, things like Alexis Texas, obviously a massive adult star. She did this, which is Alexis on Sol. Now, it did really, really badly. It was badly run. The whole thing was awful. So she was behind it. She did try and do what she could do, but I think she was badly advised and it didn't really work out very well. But it's another option that people can take. But greed issues is one, and damage reputation. So once you've got that greed issue and you start trying to take too much out of the market cap and things like that, and you start trying to rinse your fans, then you get the damage reputation and then you might not recover from that. So there's the ultimate risk. But what they can do as well is when people tip you in their token, you can buy back and burn it. USDC is obviously going to be more important, and USDT, because you're going to want to get that as a creator, you're going to want that money in. But if you put a percentage into buyback and burns, it makes your token more valuable when you get tipped in your own token as well as USDCs and USDT. The value of your token will increase. Obviously, you'd have to sell it to monetize from that. But if it's having a good market cap and growing and building all the time, and it's not having these big sell-offs, ultimately, more people will trust it, more people will buy into it, more people will look at you. You create a platform, you create a profile, and again, it doesn't have to be just adult. It can be Twitch, it can be YouTube, it can be anyone who's got a semblance of influence could do that and make a lot of money from it. Then there's the merchandise avenue, where you could have like 10% of your merchandise revenue goes into, and that's if you don't currently have merch. But if you don't, and you're a smaller only OF creator, and you're or fans view or whatever, and you're doing this, you could use the merch sales to buy off a bit more of your token, burn it, and things like that. There's a load of different avenues where people could make a lot of money from this. So it's worth keeping an eye on these things because they will come, especially when we get nearer a bull run. And if you can catch these at micro caps, like 100K market caps, you can turn sort of half a sol into like 50 sol. It's plausible. But obviously they have to be backed by the actual person, because the person can then hold an image up with the contract address on, or the ticker symbol, things like that, which is what they were suggesting last night in the spaces. And it made a lot of sense, because then people are like, oh, well, this is her, or this is genuine, and then more people will do it, which will obviously ultimately pump the price further. So I've showed you why I think this is working. And then you've got this, which is a new branch into a whole new world. So I've shown you this before. This is a Aitana. So it's an AI influencer making 10,000 euros a month. Probably more than that now. This article was a while ago. But the AI that are getting so advanced now, AI agents. I mean, if you look at just the AI agent alone market cap at the minute, it's over $10 billion. Over $10 billion for something relatively new. But they can now create your own AI influencer. Now, it could be an AI adult influencer. That AI adult influencer can then do streams, spaces, things like that, because they're becoming more and more lifelike. They're becoming more able to use streams. They're becoming more able to be able to use video, X spaces. They'll be able to talk. They'll be able to engage with fans. They'll be able to do the chatting, the selling, all that kind of stuff. So there is a market that's gonna really take off with this, and it's finding a play that will get on that ground floor. Now, people will create these AI agents and they will go nuts. These adult AI influencers will happen, and then tokens will come as a result. And I think it's interesting. So if you look at the top ranked OF creators, Mia Khalifa, obviously everyone knows about her. I think she had a bad token launch, but I don't know if it was linked to her or not. Didn't follow any of it, but that's another person who could do it. So people could do it. You got Amber Rose there. Bad Barbie, I think, is doing it now. Whether that's her doing or whether it's someone else who's done it, and then she's just obviously got some of the token and is trying to boost it, I don't know, which is similar to what happened last night. You got Sophie D. So, for instance, Sophie D here, this is her X page, doesn't have a token that I'm aware of, anything like that, and she's like number 6 or 7 in the OF rankings. So if she released a token tomorrow, and then at certain milestones gave you different perks along the way, whatever they may be, and she went on an X space or a YouTube live, a TikTok live, whatever, and started saying that and holding up the thing with the coin, mentioning the coin, speaking about the ticker, it would go nuts. It would go nuts. And if you could get in early, and obviously some didn't hold too much of the supply, there are a lot of money-making avenues within this space, I believe. I think this is Bad Barbie. So I think at the minute she's talking about a contract, or there is today the day that Bad hits 10 million. So that was 5 hours ago. So there's obviously something going on there. So there is a market for it. But I think if it's done correctly, you could really actually ramp this up and do really, really well. Now, again, shout out to Mima's. Go follow her. She seems fine. She's absolutely brilliant. she joined the space for like 3 hours to try and pump everyone's bag. So fair play to that. But it was really interesting. And I think that this is a sector that can really take off coming up soon in the crypto space. Subscriber wise, we are nearly at 5,200 subscribers. So thank you very much for that. Keep subscribing and like, comment, do whatever you want on this video, all that good stuff. If you enjoyed this video, I know it's a bit different, smash the like button as well. We can revisit this in the future when other projects around this kind of sector come live. So wherever you're in the world, whatever you're doing, have an amazing day, have an amazing evening, and I'll speak to you tomorrow. Take care. Goodbye.